Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Jim with Jim's Garage Toys, and previously I had changed the gear oil on my rear differential for my GR Corolla. So now I'm going to go ahead and change the gear oil on my front differential. So this is going to be a very similar process. I will go ahead and show the process again, same as the back, but making sure that everyone, if you're going to attempt this and do it yourself, that you make sure that you know which is the proper fill bolt to remove. And we'll get the fluid drained out, we'll fill it back up, and both diffs will now be done once I'm done with this process. So thanks for joining me today. Starting out on the front, the first thing that is massively different is the cover. So we got to remove the cover first so we have access. And looking at this, there are a bunch of clips like this, and a little flathead screwdriver can help pop those loose. And then up front, I got some 10mm bolts. You can see it right there. So, and there are, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those bolts right here going across the front. You don't have to take this piece off. Should be able to just remove these bolts so we can slide this panel out. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna loosen the bolts first, take those out, then we'll take all the clips, and our undercover panel should be able to slip right out at that point. So this is after the cover is removed. Here's your oil drain pan. Here's your transfer case, front diff. So here is the drain for it. And then above that, right there, is the fill. The fill is pointed toward the driver's side. So just so you know, I will show it to you. If you come over to the passenger side and look up top, there is a traditional, looks like, I can't remember if it's 22 or 24mm fill plug like a lot of Toyotas use. That is not it. Don't fill from there. So the nice thing is that it's easy because the two that you need have the 10mm Allen wrench or hex bolt that you need to remove those. So do the same thing though. Go ahead and break this one loose first. And then as long as you get that loose, turn this one, drain this out, and we'll fill it back up. Here is the wrench. And as you can see, it's loose. So I was able to get this up there. I do have a special tool for tight spots, but I did not need that in this case. So I got it loose, so we're safe now to go ahead and break loose the drain bolt. Alrighty, I got the bolt broken loose, so now I can just get this draining out. There we go. Oops, didn't mean to do that. The front does not look as black as the rear did. So there we go. Nice. Yeah, this one is just like the one in the rear. It doesn't look like it has any any oil on it whatsoever. It just dripped on me. So, okay. Well, I'll let that drip for a little while. I like to let them drip and get as much of that old oil out of there as I possibly can. And we'll go from there. So this is the drain plug. And this is magnetic also, just like in the rear. So you can see nice little caked up piece there. I'm going to go ahead and wipe it off real quick. And I did replace the washer on the drain plug. Cinch this. Okay. Go ahead and torque it. 29 foot-pounds is what the factory calls for. There we go. I could feel the crush washer crush. And if you don't have a torque wrench, I've done a ton of different things like this over the years without torquing them, and that's what I feel. If it's got a crush washer, I feel for it to crush and collapse and just make sure it's nice and snug. You don't have to over tighten it. I initially bought 2 quarts of the Redline 75W85. It's a GO5 fluid, like is called for. And even though both of these take about half a quart, you know, there's always cases where some drips out, some spills, and this and that. So better to have a little extra just in case. And the whole point of this is to, well, do it until it drips. So this is what you should see when you feel it. See it dripping? So as it, you always end up putting a little bit too much in it. So you should see a little bit of overflow until it can't overflow anymore. And when it's equal to the rim of the fill hole there, you know you're good. So as soon as you start seeing it pour out, stop pumping and then just let it drip out the excess. And that's what it's doing now. So we'll just let it sit here for, I don't know, until it stops. 15, 20 minutes or something like that. We'll see how long it takes, and then we'll put the bolt back in, cover on, and we're done. So here's the fill bolt back into place. Our drain bolt filled with fluid, and I wiped everything down so it looks nice and clean. So that is done. Now all I gotta do is pop the cover back on, and it's the exact reverse as taking it out. So let's do that real quick and we'll be all done. Lord. There we go. Once one clip is in, then it'll stay there. Just work around. And that is a wrap. Any questions or comments or anything that you guys have, questions about the process, and doing this yourself. You can do this yourself. It's not that hard. If you don't have a lift, you just want to get the car up level, put it on a couple of ramps, and then jack up the other end with some jack stands. Just get it pretty level, and then you're okay. And that'll give you a proper level for when you're filling up the new oil. So, and other than that, this is all done. Hope this helps anybody that wants to do it themselves. And until I see you guys the next time, we'll see you down the road. Have a good one.